Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we slice through the sources to give you the clearest, fastest insights into the topics that matter.
And today, we are really getting into the Samsung Galaxy S25 AI.
We are, and this isn't just another phone review. We're trying to answer the question that you've been asking. Does this thing actually deliver on that promise of top-tier performance without compromise?
Right. And how does the AI fit in? Is it just a marketing buzzword, or does it genuinely make your day-to-day life, better?
That's the mission. We need to find the substance here.
Especially now with the pricing we're seeing. The value proposition is, well, it's a huge part of the conversation. So we need to dissect the specs, find out what really matters in practice.
Exactly. We're giving you the shortcut. Okay, let's unpack this, and I think we have to start with the first thing you notice. The design.
The look and feel, yeah.
Before you even turn it on, what does this phone say to you?
Well, I think Samsung is really setting a tone here. It's a very deliberate, almost subtle kind of premium design. The sources all seem to highlight these sleek, modern lines. It's not bulky, it's not overly sharp like some previous models. And that icy blue finish. That's an interesting choice.
It's a bit of a risk, isn't it? It could look cheap.
It could, but it seems like they pulled it off.
Oh.
It's meant to be striking, but not, gaudy. It signals luxury, but in a more understated way.
Okay. But I have to ask about the practical side of that. Glossy finishes are they're fingerprint magnets. Does that ruin the whole premium vibe after 5 minutes?
That is a fair question. And yeah, the sources are a little mixed on that. The build itself feels incredibly sturdy. You've got reinforced aluminum, high-quality glass. It feels solid.
Right.
But yes, to keep that shiny finish looking pristine, you are going to be wiping it down. It just comes with the territory.
Okay.
Where it really shines, though, is in the ergonomics.
How it feels in your hand.
Exactly. You're holding this massive 6.8-inch display.
Yeah.
But the device itself feels surprisingly light. It's balanced. It doesn't feel like you're about to drop it, which is vital if you're using it for hours.
And once you turn it on, that 6.8-inch display is really the main event, isn't it? We're talking about a dynamic AMOLED panel.
We are. And what makes it different isn't just one thing. It's the combination of fidelity and pure responsiveness.
So the colors pop.
Oh, the colors are incredibly vibrant, very true to life. The contrast is phenomenal. But for you, day-to-day, two things really matter most. Peak brightness and that adaptive refresh rate.
Which means what, in simple terms?
High peak brightness means you can be outside in direct sunlight and still read your screen perfectly. No squinting, no hiding in the shade to see a map.
Okay, that's genuinely useful.
And the adaptive refresh rate, which likely goes up to 120 hertz, just means everything is, well, it's butter smooth.
No stuttering when you scroll.
Zero stuttering. Whether you're in a fast-paced game or just scrolling through a news feed, the movement is fluid. It's engineered to feel immediate.
That feeling of immediate takes us right to the engine room then. Performance. If the display is that smooth, the processor has to keep up. Let's talk about the raw specs driving this thing.
Okay, so we have to start with the memory. The S25 AI has 12 gigabytes of memory.
And in 2025, that is a serious flagship number.
It's a desktop-level amount of memory. And it's what really separates it from a lot of competitors who are still shipping with 8 GB in their base models.
And that extra 4 GB isn't just for bragging rights, is it? It has a real impact on multitasking.
Huge impact.
Yeah, precisely.
It means you can have, 10 heavy apps a game, a video editor, a bunch of browser tabs all running in the background.
And when you switch back to one, it doesn't have to reload from scratch.
It's just there instantly. That's real-world efficiency. You pair that with 256 gigabytes of storage right out of the gate, and the system just doesn't have those internal bottlenecks.
But here's an issue we see all the time. A phone can have all the power in the world, but in a thin frame, it gets hot, and then it slows down. Thermal throttling.
And that's the critical link. That's where the hardware meets the AI infrastructure. What's so interesting here is that the speed is sustained.
Oh.
This is where that AI-driven optimization comes in. You can almost think of it like there's a tiny pit crew inside the phone.
Ah, I like that.
It doesn't wait for the engine to overheat. It actually predicts when you're about to do something intensive. Let's launch a big game.
And it prepares for it.
It preemptively adjusts resource allocation, cooling parameters, all of that. It's managing the heat before you can even feel it.
So it's basically pushing that throttling point further and further away, or making it so minimal that you just don't notice it.
Exactly. It's this system-level intelligence that is the real performance hook here. It's what makes sure the phone feels just as fast on day 365 as it did on day one.
That idea of long-term speed is a perfect segue into the camera system. That's what most of us are using every single day. So what kind of firepower are we dealing with here?
The foundation is strong. You've got a 50-megapixel main sensor.
Which is huge.
It is. In good daylight, you're going to get incredible detail, incredible depth. That's sort of a given for a premium phone now. But the magic is in the computational side of things.
Right, let's break that down because every phone struggles in the same places, right? Like tricky low-light situations. How does the AI help there?
This is really where the AI earns its paycheck. In low light, the phone doesn't just take one picture. It does what's called multi-frame processing.
It takes a bunch of them at once.
Instantly. And then the AI algorithms analyze all of them, pixel by pixel, to reduce noise and bring out the clarity and color. It's making thousands of tiny judgment calls.
So the end result is a cleaner shot than the sensor could have gotten on its own.
Much cleaner. The sources describe the low-light shots as genuinely impressive. They just look better, sharper than a lot of rivals that are only relying on a big sensor.
And what about for portraits? The buzzword is always bokeh. For anyone listening who doesn't know, can you explain what that is and how the S25 AI gets it right?
Sure. Bokeh is just a fancy word for the quality of the blur in the background of a photo. When it looks good and natural, your subject just pops.
But it can also look really fake, that sort of cutout look.
Exactly. A lot of phones create these really harsh artificial outlines. The S25 AI uses much more sophisticated machine learning. It understands depth in a more nuanced way.
So the blur is more gradual.
It creates a gradual fall-off into the blur, more like what you'd get from a professional DSLR lens. The edges are soft, organic. It just looks real.
And what about video? If you're creating content on the move, stabilization is everything.
It's highly robust. The sources were really praising the smooth 4K capture. Even when you're walking or panning quickly, stabilization it works.
How does it do that?
It's a combination of hardware optical image stabilization and then a layer of AI software stabilization on top. They work together to smooth out basically all the minor jitters. The footage is it's ready to use.
Okay, this brings us to the core of it all. We've seen the results, the performance, the photos, but now here's where it gets really interesting. How does the AI actively, elevate the whole experience?
I think the key thing to understand is that the AI here is focused more on optimization than on, say, novelty features. It's designed to be invisible.
Right. We talked about the thermal management. What else is it doing?
It's deeply embedded in managing app behavior, and it does that based on your specific habits.
Can you give me a concrete example of that? How does it know what I'm going to do next?
Okay, so let's say every morning at 8:15 you open your email and then you open your calendar. Every single day.
Okay.
Over time, the AI learns that pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So at say 8:14 a.m., the phone will start preemptively loading bits of those two apps into a high-priority state in the memory.
So when I tap the icon...
It doesn't load from scratch. It just appears instantly. And that same logic is applied across the whole system, predicting what you'll do next to make everything feel faster.
That's the kind of streamlining that's genuinely useful. It saves those little fractions of a second that really add up. But whenever we talk about AI learning our private habits, the privacy question has to come up.
It's a critical question. And the sources did address this. Samsung has been emphasizing that most of this on-device intelligence is handled locally in a secure part of the processor.
So my usage data isn't being constantly sent to the cloud?
For the most part, no. That optimization data stays on your device. It doesn't eliminate every concern, of course, but it definitely helps mitigate those worries.
And the AI camera assistant, that's also running locally?
Largely, yes. And its job is really to be your expert photographer in your pocket. It identifies the scene, a landscape, a portrait, a plate of food, and it automatically suggests the pitch mode or applies optimal settings.
So it's correcting for issues before I even take the picture?
Right. It's enhancing contrast or sharpness in real time. It's taking all that complex photography knowledge and just making it accessible.
So if we pull all this together, what you're really saying is that the measure of success for the AI here is how unnoticeable it is.
Precisely. It's not one big flashy feature you use once.
Yeah.
It's dozens of these subtle background optimizations that just make the phone feel smarter, faster, and more responsive with every single thing you do. That intuitive, ahead-of-the-curve feeling. That's the AI at work.
And that focus on seamless integration and system health brings us to longevity and value. Because if you're spending this much on a phone, you need to know it's going to last. Let's start with the battery.
Battery life is, of course, crucial. And the sources confirm the S25 AI will comfortably get you through a full, intensive day.
That's kind of the baseline for a flagship now, though.
It is, but what's remarkable is how the AI works to maintain that battery's health over the long term.
How does it do that?
The software is engineered to monitor your charging habits. So if you plug it in overnight, for example, it might slow the charging speed once it hits 80% to reduce stress on the cells.
Ah, so it's trying to slow down that chemical degradation that happens to all batteries.
Exactly. The goal is to make sure your battery capacity stays higher for longer. It's future-proofing the hardware itself.
And Samsung backed that idea up with something very tangible, especially in the UK market, that 3-year extended warranty.
That is a huge vote of confidence, a huge one. Most manufacturers give you 1 year. By offering 3 years right out of the box, Samsung is basically telling you, we believe this device and our AI health management will keep this phone running perfectly for at least that long.
Which translates directly into peace of mind for the person buying it. It lowers the potential cost of ownership down the line.
Absolutely. And it probably helps the phone's resale value, too. A phone that's still under warranty 2 years later is just, it's a much more attractive purchase.
It really is. In a market where these are major investments, that warranty makes the S25 AI stand out. It's about security.
It moves the conversation beyond just specs and into financial reassurance for the consumer.
So what does it all mean? We started this deep dive wanting to quickly understand the core of the Galaxy S25 AI, and it seems we have a device that's stylish, that's powerful.
And that power is sustained by a really smart AI.
Right. A powerhouse camera that's made even better by computational photography, and it's all tied together with this system-level AI that just learns from you.
It's versatile, it's reliable, and it is demonstrably built to last. It's positioned as a future-proof investment, especially when you factor in that warranty.
The sources really do paint a picture of this being the new benchmark for how mobile AI should be done seamlessly and usefully.
And that leaves us with an important question for you as you think about all this. What does it mean for the whole market when the best use of AI isn't some flashy feature, but this kind of subtle, ongoing optimization? What stands out to you as the most valuable AI intervention? Is it the immediate speed, the camera's intelligence, or is it that long-term battery management? Because that quiet focus on system-wide optimization, that's probably the blueprint for where all of this is heading.